Hey guys, how is everybody doing? And welcome back to my weekly review series of Daredevil Born Again. Sorry that this video is a little late. I watched the two episodes Tuesday, but I was really tired and I was beat from the day to where I did not have the energy to really sit down and try and record a video because I would have been sitting there acting like I didn't care, and I'd rather not do that. Wednesday, I just had stuff going on to where I was really busy with things, so I wasn't able to get in front of the camera and also try and talk about it. But thankfully, I finally found some time to do it. So I did get a chance to watch it Tuesday, but unfortunately, due to time, I didn't have time to make the video until Thursday. So I might be a little rusty about talking about a few things about the show. But I've also kind of slept on it and thought about the episode, so maybe I'll even get into more detail. But who knows? But if you are just now finding me for the first time, or if you are just now finding this video series for the first time, I've been doing a weekly review series of all the new episodes of Daredevil Born Again. Every week when they release a new episode, I've been going on to talk about it. I talked about it when it premiered, and I've been talking about it since. And the last 2 weeks, we've only been getting one episode a week, but thankfully this week Disney and Marvel have graced us, and they've given us both episodes 5 and 6. And I gotta tell you guys, this show is just over exceeding my expectations so far. I thought this show was going to be good, but so far it has been awesome. It has not been as good or even better than the Netflix series, but it has been awesome so far. I am extremely happy that I am enjoying this series so far, and we still have about 3 or 4 episodes left. And I cannot wait for the next few weeks because these 2 episodes were awesome. Now, I will admit, out of all the episodes so far, I do think episode 5 is one of the weaker ones, but I will get into that. But so let's talk about episode 5 first, because like I said, we got 2 episodes. So episode 5, unfortunately, it was just a filler. It was a filler episode. It didn't really do anything for the story. It didn't really add anything to the actual show. It was just a filler episode. But me saying that it was a filler episode and still saying it was good, it was still a really good episode. Sure, it was a filler and it didn't do anything. It was just there just to be there. But it was a really good episode to where I really enjoyed it, to where what the episode was is that it takes place on St. Patrick's Day, which I don't know why they wouldn't release it the week of St. Patrick's Day, but whatever. Takes place on St. Patrick's Day, and you have Matthew. He goes to the bank to talk to them about something. I forget what it was, and he's there to talk about something. And a nice little cameo that we got in this show, and a nice little appearance, was Miss Marvel's father, who I actually really enjoy. That Miss Marvel show, it's not one of my favorites, but I do really like the character, so seeing Miss Marvel's dad in this show was just a nice little appearance and a nice little cameo, and how he showed off the Miss Marvel Funko Pop I thought was really funny, and I thought it was just cool to see him as like the bank manager. I thought that was really cool. That was a nice little appearance, and kind of possibly set up Daredevil and Miss Marvel kind of meeting up at one point, and kind of setting up the Young Avengers, which who knows if that will ever come out, but that kind of sets it up a little bit for me, because like they talk about it a little bit. They kind of brief on it where he says that she's in California on a little field trip, which we all know why she's in California if you saw The Marvels, for those of you who did. And so that was just a nice little appearance. I really like that. And what the episode is that you get these bunch of bank robbers, and they're there just for money or this crystal thing. And Matthew, who leaves the bank and he goes back to the bank to save them, and he kind of plays this undercover role, and he plays the blind person that he supposedly is, and he tries to help people get out. He tries to help Miss Marvel's dad get out, and it's just a really fun episode. It's really fun to see Matthew kind of try to stop this bank heist and try to stop these guys from killing anybody or kind of robbing whatever they're trying to steal or whatever. Like, it was just fun. Like, I honestly didn't think it should have been an episode in the show, and because like after I had watched the episode, I didn't know what to think about it at first. I thought it was good. It was for a filler, it was pretty watchable. But like I just didn't know how to feel. And then when I went on Twitter, and I actually kind of agreed with this, is that someone said that it might have worked better as a Marvel presentation, which is what John Bernthal's Punisher is going to be getting next year, which I'm really excited for. I honestly would have preferred if they did that and maybe added an extra 10 minutes to it or something. Because, like, when you watch this, it never felt like it was part of the story that we were talking about, that we've been going on. It never felt like it was a smooth ride so far. It was just like, episode 4 was up here and had our expectations high, and that's why I thought we were getting 2 episodes, because I thought we would see Daredevil and Punisher team up. But unfortunately, from the highs that we got from episode 4, we kind of take a little bit dip down with episode 5 because, again, it's just a filler. It doesn't do anything. But what the episode does do, and what it kind of does add to the story that we've been going on with Daredevil so far, is it kind of slowly starts to make Matthew want to, makes Daredevil kind of want to come out of Matthew again. Because in this episode, he's fighting people, and he, at one point, when one of the robbers escapes in a officer disguise, he like puts on a red mask and he fights him and he like snaps his leg in half, which was awesome. Like and like you see that, it's just like, okay, Daredevil's slowly starting to come out again. Like he's starting his dark, like kind of like Dexter's dark passenger. That's what he kind of views him as. Like he's slowly starting to come out again. He's slowly starting to relapse to an extent. Like, and just that. And I will say this: there is a moment in episode 5 to where, oh, excuse me, to where Matthew is fighting one of the bank robbers, and like it just felt really awkward. The fight sequences are awesome in these two episodes. Like they're awesome. They're just as good as the Daredevil series on Netflix. But like there was like moments where they were fighting, and I was just like, this seems really awkward. To where it kind of felt like music was meant to be playing, but it was like I don't know, it was really weird, but. I really enjoyed episode 5 for what it offered me. It was a decent filler. I do agree that it might have worked better as a Marvel presentation episode, but I really enjoyed it. I really enjoyed for what the episode offered. It was just fun for what it was. And then we move on to episode 6, where and now we fully get back on track of the show and fully continue what we've been going on after. And I think that episode 6 is in contention with episode 4 as the best episode of the series so far, because this episode was awesome. And that is everything that I was hoping that this show would offer, and even more, because it is awesome to where, like, we slowly start to get more into the Fisk and Vanessa stuff. It doesn't really add anything still. It still has not worked for me. Maybe, like I've been saying this every week, maybe in the next episode I'll gain my interest again, because like there are moments where I'm like, okay, this is interesting, I'm getting intrigued again. And where we kind of follow, what we more follow in this episode kind of a little bit is Fisk as mayor. That's what we more follow him as. And we also got like a character from the Hawkeye show who makes a quick appearance in here. It was nothing big really. Like they teased it, and everyone got excited, but it was just like a small little role. But like it was just cool to see that character again. But like nothing really happens with Fisk, and then what this episode is really the main focus on, and what I think this show has been doing perfectly at, is trying to show off Muse. He has been awesome in the show so far, and they haven't really done anything big with him yet. They have done such a good job of making you feel his presence and making you feel this weird, uncomfortable, spine chilling like feeling when you watch this character, because I don't know much about the character of Muse much. I have not read many Daredevil comics. I have not read any of the Muse ones. But there's an awesome moment in in this episode where one of the construction workers and one of the people that was in the bank robbery in episode 5, he comes in to talk to Fisk, and and there's like all this graffiti stuff going on, and everybody knows it's this Muse guy. But then we start to find out that all this graffiti that he's using is not paint, but it is human blood. That was a great moment to show off that what kind of a fucked up person that Muse is. And it's like his presence being shown so far has been amazing. I really love what they're doing with him. I really love what they're trying to showcase with him. That has been one of my main things that I loved about this episode. That was probably the standout of the entire episode. And I'm really hoping that we get to see more of him. He's supposedly returning in the next season. But yeah, we'll see with that. And obviously, we got to talk about the final moments of this episode. The final moments of this episode is what I feel is in contention of making this the best Daredevil episode of this show. Because this episode's ending was amazing, to where we finally get to see Daredevil. We finally get to see Matthew in the costume once again. He has finally come back as Daredevil, to where at the very end, the niece of White Tiger, she is kidnapped by Muse, and he is draining her blood to use as the spray paint to use as graffiti, and the mom tells Matthew that has gone missing and doesn't know where she is, and it's not like her to do that. And so and it has this great moment where he goes to call the police, and he just says, and he literally says, "Fuck it." puts on his Daredevil suit again, and he goes out and finds her. That was an amazing moment, and the fight sequence between Muse and Daredevil was amazing. That is everything I was hoping for with Daredevil. It was everything that I was hoping that the show would offer, especially with the fight choreography and with these villains. And not only do we get to see Matthew finally come back as Daredevil, we get to see Fisk finally become Kingpin once again. There has been this whole subplot of Vanessa cheating on Fisk when he left, and he has kept the boyfriend in in this like locked up cage or whatever, and he goes down there and he's holding an axe and he says, sometimes you need a weapon to fight a bigger man, like I did with my father." And he gives them the axe, and he just fucking brutalizes that man. He literally gives him an axe, and he's still able to defeat him. And we finally get to see Fisk come out again. We get to see the Kingpin that we remember. We get to see the mobster person that we remember. To where literally the episode ends with a shot of him laying down with bloody knuckles again. That shows is that it has this great moment in the entire show is that Matthew and Fisk can try to hide their dark passengers and try to hide and try to escape their old selves, but no matter what, something is going to happen to where they're going to come out and be them again. Fisk was pushed to his limits. He could no longer hold it in. He came out and became Kingpin once again. Daredevil, someone that he has cared about, someone he wants to protect, is being harmed. He knows he needs to take into it his old hands, and he's started to relapse, and his anger is starting to get the best of him. He comes back out as Daredevil again. That was a great moment. That was one of the greatest endings to the episode, and I am so excited to finally see Matthew back as Daredevil. Hopefully, in the next 3 episodes, we fully get to see him back in that outfit and fully get to see him as Daredevil again because that outfit, that the whole costume for Daredevil in the show is amazing. And we got the set leaks for season 2 where we're finally getting the double Ds. I am so excited. I have been loving this show so far. It is everything that it's been hyping me up for. I loved these 2 episodes, especially even episode 5, which I do think is a filler, and I do think it is the weakest, but it was still great. But episode 6 was absolutely amazing. If you guys have not checked out the show yet, please do yourself a favor and start watching it now because it is because this is just the beginning of what Daredevil is going to be looking like in the MCU, and I cannot fucking wait to see what the final episodes and the final stretch of the show looks like and what to see it sets up for season 2. But let me know what you guys think about these 2 episodes down in the comments below. Have you checked them out? What did you think about them? And are you excited for the next 3 episodes? What has been your favorite episode so far of the show so far? Let me know in the comments below, and we shall talk about it. And if you like this video, like it. If you love to subscribe to the bell notifications so you will get notified for all of my latest videos. And of course, until my next video, I'll see you all next time.